I believe in the future of Africa. There's so much more coming. We got way to go. Be proud of who you are 100%. Do not wait for what the continent can do for you, you know? The knowledge, everything that you're doing here, how can you bring that back home? I want to give shout outs to everybody, all my outliers, everybody that has been involved with us on this journey.
The African Diaspora, Canada. In this episode, I speak to Jules Awesome, who's the founder of the Afrobeat Festival. He's the CEO of Clothing by AIM, as well as the executive director of African Music Week in Toronto. All right, so today I am in Kensington Market in Toronto, Canada, with my series on Africans, Caribbeans, the diaspora in Canada. So right now I'm with Jules.
What's up, Ivy?
The man behind this brand that you see people like Davido wearing his clothing, you know, Burna Boy I've seen wearing his clothing. I've seen so many different artists around the world. Akon supports you. I see him wearing your stuff a lot. And, you know, last weekend, I saw you at Afrofest. Yes. And at Afrofest, I saw some people wearing the Africa tees, and I was like, yeah, that's my boy's brand. That's my boy's brand. It's so cool to see how much growth you've had over the years. So, first of all, I want to mention that Jules is somebody who is really important when it comes to the music industry in Ghana, promoting music, African music to the world. When I first met him, I know that, you know, we met under some strange circumstances. It was at the Ghana embassy in Toronto, and I was like a little angry at the people there. I won't go into the story, that's for another day, but that's how we met. And no, he's not the one I was angry at. He was just there. He was just there and witnessing the rage that was happening. So we became friends, and over the years, you know, the whole Ghana vibe, Africa vibe has been really great to see how much growth he's had and how much impact he's had. I will say this, in 2015, he predicted an African artist selling out Madison Square Garden.
Yep.
And it happened this year with Burna Boy. So it just goes to show you the visionary person that he is when it comes to the space of Africa. So today we're in his shop here in Kensington Market. Wanted to hear a little bit about his backstory, why he got started, and how things are going, and how you can come here and buy his stuff, or go online or follow the Instagram page and get your own merchandise. So Jules, thank you.
That was such a great introduction. I was like, what are you talking about? You know, so yeah, it's an honor to have you here in Toronto, and to see you back to your roots. You know, holiday. You know, it's funny because we usually go to Ghana for holidays.
Yeah. And
come back home to Toronto, but now she's doing the opposite.
Yeah.
You know, living in Ghana and then come to Toronto for holidays. But it's pretty great to see you and stuff like that. You wanted to know the backstory, how everything happened.
Yeah, I want to know what got you into, because you grew up in Ghana.
Yes.
But then you moved to Canada. How old were you when you moved to Canada?
I was 23.
Okay.
Yeah, 23.
Okay.
Wow, it feels like that.
Formative years.
Yeah, I mean, Ghana's my foundation. I wouldn't have had it any other way, you know, because I went to Tema Parent School for grade school, then did a year in Tema Medas for like a year, and then went into Akosombo International School.
Okay.
Did that boarding school. I've always been into music, so I was entertainment prefect, you know, for the GSS3 batch and stuff like that. You know, I always had the latest music as well. And the funny thing about growing up in Ghana was I'm a non-conformist. So back in high school, where everybody had a high top, my hair was always bald.
Really?
Yeah, always. Like, you know, had a, you know, we call it what do you call it? Sorry about
busy
that.
Busy man. Phone call coming through.
Let me just cut that one off real quick.
Take the call.
You know, so.
Oh, I thought you were gonna take the call.
No, don't worry. We'll talk to them later.
All right.
So that was, you know, my way of getting things going, right? So I did entertainment, like I was in charge of entertainment for I was entertainment prefect. Then in SSS, the same thing, you know, so I was in Akosombo for like, probably like a year or two for a senior high school. Then left, situation happened there, you know, had nothing to do with it. But that was like the most important part of my life where, you know, because it was the old system and the new system, they wanted to clear the old system out. So we are influenced by the old system, like the Form 5ers and stuff like that. So there was a whole new breed of students coming up that knew nothing about anything.
Okay.
So we had already seen what the old system was like. So anything goes down. For those who don't know me, I don't smoke, I don't drink. That's from
which in the music industry, entertainment aspect is unusual because
very,
people
very,
are chilling,
very,
smoking, and drinking.
Yeah. No, and all of that came from Akusumo school, like
Okay.
because it was part of the rules. Hey, no smoking, no drinking. I've tried alcohol, but it's not for me. You know, so with the seniors and the influence that we had, entertainment prefab at the time, was a situation that happened. Last days of school, some people had gone to the girls' dormitory and stuff like that. I didn't even go there, but just the fact that Jules was out that night. Oh, so anyway, so for the record, I am actually indefinitely suspended from Akusumo International School. So
so even if they had some alumni gathering, you couldn't.
Oh no, I could still do. I still rock with them.
Okay.
That's for me. It was the best thing that ever happened.
Okay.
To me, and
Okay.
From that change, I was very deep into the music thing. Did SSS, finished off my SSS into my secondary school as well.
Okay.
Shout outs to my people that I met out there.
Okay.
And when I say it was the best thing that happened to me, it changed my mindset.
Okay.
Akusumo was a very sheltered place where it was almost like in a bubble.
Okay.
People say that about but when that situation happened, I would still connect with the people there, but that really put me on this journey that I'm on now.
Okay.
So I'm glad it happened.
Okay.
And it changed the way I am and my outlook on life. And I'm like, I had that attitude where if it's meant to be, it's up to me. So right after SSS, we were getting all the latest music that was coming in. Hi, how are you? Great. Just finishing an interview, yeah. So I was getting all the latest music. My best friend at the time, Dennis Kobla Mensa, we had finished SSS. He was leaving to go to London, so we formed a record label.
Oh.
Yeah, so my last name is Osum, and then his name is Mensa. So we put it together and made it Osman Records. And we would supply, at the time in Tema, it was Radio 7, Solar Sounds, you name it. All the big sound were supplying like vinyl, CD, albums, singles, all of that, all the latest stuff. That's what we were bringing in. So he was bringing it in from England. This is way before the download days, Canasa.
Right. So this is like pre-digital era.
Well, yeah, you can say that. It was like we were at the forefront of all the sound that was happening.
Okay. This was like cassettes and CDs and vinyl,
Yes.
or was it only the vinyl?
It was cassettes, CD. We're dealing mainly. We had some tapes because we're dealing mainly CDs and vinyl.
Okay.
That was the main thing that we're dealing in.
Okay.
And we're supplying all the sound. So to the point where I lived in Tema, but I was always in Accra. So I'll go to Osu. Shouts to Prime Card. If those who know the sound, Prime Card was a place in Osu where everybody goes to
Go to get the records
and stuff like that. So I was supplying Kareem with, I'll say half of his new sound that he was supplying the people with.
Wow.
Now in Osu, it's funny because Groove FM was right there, 106.3. It was on Kuku Hill, right? And Groove FM, that was like, I'm talking about 96, 97. That's when Reggie had just come out with Rap.
Yeah.
The whole Hip Life Revolution. I bought that tape, my Reggie's tape, yeah. And then
I had Reggie's tape too.
Yeah. So the funny thing was my dad had come and I said, yo, Dad, listen to this, is the new, so it was like, what's this? Like, I was just, the revolution had started. And prior to Reggie coming in, my boys, Talking Drums,
Yes, Talking Drums.
Abeku Abero, and they had, Kwekuti. It was like people doing their thing, before, because there was a lot of, like the hip hop influence in Ghana was so strong.
Yeah.
Early 90s, what's his name? Blitz. We used to go by the name Bazaar.
Blitz the Ambassador?
Yeah, Blitz the Ambassador used to go by the name Bazaar.
Yeah.
So when Blitz was Bazaar, it was pretty much that era where everything was coming up. So Reggie coming up was more like giving it a name and it going mainstream. So we'll supply the sounds and the vinyls to Prime Cut, and then the DJs, some came from Joy FM, Groove, Atlantis, Universe. They all came to Prime Cut to get their sound.
Wow.
You understand? So what I'll do, my favorite show on Groove FM at the time was Showtime, was Mr. GI and the Woodman. So that was every Friday night. So I'll call into the show, tell them like, I always get a list of whose album is coming out this year or this week, new drops and stuff like that. Just giving them entertainment news. And how I got into radio was because I was already supplying the music. I had love and passion for the music, and I had some people that I love to listen to. You know, shouts to George Brune, shouts to Jules Bossman. These were like my people that really, really got me into radio. Bushke had a show going on as well. Bushke the Wild Child, Daddy Bosco. You know, like Groove FM was it. That's what really I'm like. You know what? If they're doing it, I can do it too. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna just go, you know, bring my demo and then go apply to be on radio at Groove FM 106.3. That's on Kuku Hill in Osu. So when I was ready to go, guess what happened? Like Groove FM was like the first urban radio station in Ghana, catered to the youth. So you can understand how important that influence of hip hop and then the sound. So radio was always up there. Like everybody came through, and they were very much. It almost felt like an urban radio station here in Toronto, or you know, like a Flow, or you know, one of those things. So when I was bringing in my demo to Groove FM had sold the station. I mean, they changed the whole format. So they changed the format. So that's how Adum came about. Adum was 106.3.
Right.
So I'm like, wait. My thing was hip hop and R&B, right? And now the whole format was like the local language. So I had to find the next place that could, you know, take on what I wanted to do. The only place I had that was Vibe FM. That was at Trust Towers. And shouts to Mike Cook. And I'll always go to these are things about me that I learned about myself growing up. Like when I want something, I go for it. You know, I mean, you think I'm passionate now, or I'm like, you know, going for things now. Imagine when I was younger, like I was like, yo, you know, I had to prove everybody. It was almost like Tupac, me against the world, you know. I was like, yo, I'm going to show these guys from Akon University the wrong person, you know. So that was my inspiration. That was my motivation.
You wanted to show them.
Of course, like I'm like, hey, this is what you thought of me? No, you're wrong.
Yeah.
So I changed my course. Instead of Groove FM, brought my stuff to Vibe FM. So I brought my items to my demo to Vibe FM, and at Vibe FM, I'll go wait there like all day, you know, waiting for the owner, my cook, to, you know, hey, Jules, what's up? He's busy, and we just go sit there hours. He can't even talk to the man, you know. So at the time, Vibe FM was, I think it was the 8th or the 9th floor. They were sharing a space with a Cyfix, Abraham Ohinijan. That's now OM Media or OM Studio. That's when Obrafo had come out then, TikTok and all those boys used to come do their videos downstairs at the Vibe Cafe. So one time I was there and I said, hey Mike, you know, I want to be on radio, right? And he said, okay, next week, Victor Wusu is actually leaving to go to London on a holiday. So they wanted me to come in and sit in for him on that Friday, right? So here I am, Ivy. The whole of Tema know their boy is going to be on radio. Okay, I was like, in Tema, there was, I think Sammy B was the only person that was doing radio, and Victor, right? Those were the only two people out of Tema that was like doing radio from the city. And I mean, Dr. Duncan and all those boys had not come out yet. So Adum FM was like not operational, but everybody that knew me wanted to listen to me that night. So Friday, okay, let's go. And the format, and this is a very important thing here. Sometimes you plan things, but when opportunity comes and it's not what it is that you're looking for, still take it. So that's what I did, and we did that Friday night was called the party mix. And guess what format it was? It wasn't hip hop and R&B. It was UK garage and house music. What? So anyway, I took it. I still went on the show, but the only thing was I couldn't talk on radio. So for the 2 hours from Friday night, 10 p.m. till midnight, my boys are all tuned in. You can't hear nothing. All I was doing is just playing the music, you know? So there was a guy that had started a show with me, Nana Kojo. You know, he would still come around, but he was not as passionate, you know. He didn't go with the whole flow. But I actually delved into the whole thing. Like I went in 100% on this whole radio thing. And I had to get creative. So I had, you know, shouts to Kwame Fachi. These are like people that really looked out for me on the radio station. Bushke, Jules Bossman, Victor. I was cool with everybody, you know, and these guys genuinely like wanted to see me do well. So
stay tuned for part 2 of my interview with Jules, where he goes more in depth with how he got into the fashion business and all the things he's doing in the music industry, promoting Ghana worldwide.